There's a harsh but liberating truth that most people try to avoid. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not your mentor, not your favorite motivational speaker. No one is going to wake up every day and dedicate themselves to fixing your problems, healing your pain, or building your dreams. That responsibility belongs to you, and only you. The moment you internalize this truth, you stop waiting, you stop stalling, you stop giving your power away to circumstances, people, or the past. Life is not fair, and it never promised to be. But what it does offer, quietly, patiently, is a choice. Every day, every moment, you are given the opportunity to take ownership of where you are and where you're headed. Not blame, not excuses. Ownership. That's where change begins. Most people are looking for a shortcut, a savior, a sign. They wait for things to become easier, for someone to recognize their pain, or for the perfect opportunity to knock. But the world doesn't operate on sympathy. It rewards action. And those who thrive are the ones who understand that complaining never built a legacy. Wishing never created success. You either move or you stay stuck. It's that simple. Taking full responsibility for your life is uncomfortable at first. It forces you to look at your habits, your choices, your attitude, and realize that much of your current reality is a direct result of the decisions you've made. But with that discomfort comes empowerment. Because if you created this reality, then you have the power to create a new one. That's not just accountability, that's freedom. Stop waiting for someone to understand how hard it's been. Stop hoping someone will come along and push you toward your goals. Stop wishing someone would believe in you more than you believe in yourself. It's time to shift your mindset from victim to creator. You don't need sympathy. You need strategy. You don't need attention. You need action. And no matter how small the steps are, as long as you're moving forward, you're not failing. Taking radical responsibility isn't about blame. It's about reclaiming your power. It means saying, I may not have chosen this pain, this struggle, this situation, but I choose how I respond. I choose to fight. I choose to rise. I choose to change the story. In today's world, we're surrounded by a constant need for attention, a culture obsessed with being seen, liked, followed, and praised. Everything we do, from what we wear to what we post to how we talk, is subtly or overtly shaped by how others might perceive us. But when your self-worth depends on applause, you're building your life on a fragile foundation. Because what happens when the likes stop? What happens when the recognition doesn't come? What happens when no one claps? The answer is simple. You crumble. Unless you've learned to validate yourself. External validation is addictive. It's like a drug that gives you a rush, a sense of importance. But that high fades fast, and then you're left empty, chasing it again and again, measuring your worth by the reactions of people who don't live your life, don't understand your journey, and won't show up when things get hard. The more you depend on others to feel confident, the more powerless you become. True strength is quiet. It's the kind of strength that comes from doing the work when no one is watching, when no one cares, and when no one even knows what you're going through. It's built when you start doing things, not to impress, but to improve, not to be seen, but to become. Internal fulfillment is knowing who you are without needing constant reminders. It's waking up in the morning and showing up for yourself. Not because someone's watching, but because you made a promise to yourself. It's taking pride in the effort, not just the outcome. And most importantly, it's about aligning your actions with your values, not someone else's expectations. The moment you begin chasing internal peace over public praise, your entire mindset shifts. You stop posting your goals to prove a point. You stop broadcasting your grind for clout. You stop adjusting your path to match someone else's timeline. Instead, you start choosing silence, focus, depth, discipline, and that's where real power is born. You must realize that not everyone will understand your journey, and they don't have to. Your dreams weren't given to them, they were given to you. That means the vision is yours to carry, yours to protect, and yours to pursue, whether anyone claps for you or not. When you stop chasing approval, you begin chasing authenticity. And when you start living authentically, you attract peace, power, and purpose. Things that no amount of. Every day you wake up, you are faced with a choice: follow your emotions or follow your discipline. One is easy, comfortable, familiar. It tells you to sleep in, to skip the workout, to delay the hard conversation, to quit when it gets tough. The other is uncomfortable, demanding, and sometimes painful. But it's the one that forges greatness. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit: your feelings will lie to you. They will tell you that you're too tired, that you're not ready, that you can start tomorrow. But discipline, it tells the truth. It shows up no matter the weather, the mood, or the excuses. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what you committed to. If you only show up when it's convenient, you'll never rise above average. You'll never build resilience, never create consistency, never earn the life you dream of. Because success isn't about intensity, it's about consistency over time. The people you admire, the champions, the leaders, the creators, they didn't succeed because they felt good every day. They succeeded because they moved forward, even on the days they didn't feel like it. Understand this: discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows through resistance. Every time you push through fatigue, doubt, or frustration, you're reinforcing a habit that will carry you through life. You're building mental armor that protects you when motivation fades, because it will. Motivation is emotional, temporary, it's unreliable. But discipline, that's commitment in action. It's not glamorous. Most of the time, it's invisible. It's waking up early when you're exhausted. It's sticking to your plan when no one's watching. It's doing one more rep, reading one more page, making one more call, writing one more line, even when every part of you wants to stop. And in those moments, when you choose to move forward, regardless of how you feel, you separate yourself from the crowd. There will be days when you feel lost, days when progress feels invisible, days when quitting whispers in your ear louder than ever. But those are the defining moments. Those are the tests that shape your character and sharpen your edge. If you can learn to act without permission from your emotions, you become dangerous in the best way. You become consistent. You become unshakable. You become someone who doesn't need hype or inspiration to move forward, because the discipline is already built into your identity. We live in a world addicted to noise. Everyone wants to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be known for what they're doing, even before they've done it. But when you're constantly broadcasting your grind, you dilute your power. You waste energy trying to impress people instead of using that energy to improve yourself. The truth is, there's unmatched power in moving in silence. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. It's control. It's the discipline to let your work speak instead of your words. When you build in silence, you protect your progress. You safeguard your ideas from unnecessary opinions, judgment, and negativity. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table while you're still cooking. Not everyone needs to see your vision while it's still forming. When you keep your head down and stay focused, you become unstoppable, not because people are cheering you on, but because no one is in your way. People often waste time explaining their goals, defending their actions, or trying to prove that they're working hard. But if you're truly committed, you don't have time to convince anyone. You're too busy becoming what they doubted you could ever be. Real confidence doesn't need validation. It thrives in solitude. The loudest person in the room is often the least secure. The quiet one, that's the person you should watch. Silence is where transformation begins. It's where you have the space to fail in private, to learn without shame, and to evolve without pressure. No spotlight, no judgment, just growth. While others seek attention, you're seeking mastery. While they're distracted by likes and comments, you're building endurance, skill, and depth. This world rewards results, not announcements. No one remembers who talked about doing great things. They remember who did them. When you spend less time announcing and more time executing, your outcomes become undeniable. You don't have to say a word, because the results scream loud enough. Operating in silence also teaches you patience. In a time where everyone wants instant results, you're learning to fall in love with the process. You're understanding that it takes time to become great. Time in the dark, time without recognition, time without praise. And that time is sacred. That time molds you into someone who doesn't fold under pressure, because you've already been through the fire, quietly. When you protect your energy, you move smarter. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone. You're simply aligned with your purpose. That kind of focused silence is dangerous. Not in a destructive way, but in the way that makes you untouchable. Because in a world dominated by highlights and headlines, comparison is almost automatic. You scroll through social media and see people traveling the world, buying cars, launching businesses, achieving goals. And somewhere inside, a quiet voice whispers, "You're behind." That voice begins to echo until it drowns out your progress, your growth, your unique journey. And that's where the real damage begins, not just to your confidence, but to your identity. Comparison is toxic, not because others are ahead, but because it shifts your focus away from your own lane. It convinces you that their timeline should be yours, that their version of success is the only version worth chasing, that their life is better, more valuable, more meaningful. But that's a lie. Because what you're seeing isn't the full picture. It's the edited, polished, filtered version. You don't see their failures. You don't see their breakdowns, the nights they cried, the doubts they fight. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel, and it will destroy your self-worth if you let it. The most dangerous thing about comparison is that it robs you of your authenticity. It makes you chase dreams that aren't yours. It pushes you toward goals that don't align with your purpose. And worst of all, it blinds you to your own progress. You stop celebrating how far you've come because you're too focused on where someone else is going. You weren't built to be like them. You weren't made to follow their path. Your timeline, your pace, your breakthroughs, they are uniquely yours. Just because someone reached their milestone earlier doesn't mean you failed. Just because someone else is shining now doesn't mean your time won't come. You are not behind. You're on your own clock. The key is to honor your pace, protect your path, and run your race without looking sideways. When you truly lock into your own journey, something powerful happens. You begin to hear your own voice again. You start creating from a place of purpose, not pressure. You make choices based on alignment, not approval. You begin to trust the process instead of rushing the outcome. That's why my progress becomes meaningful. Because it's no longer borrowed or compared. It's yours. And the truth is, the people you're comparing yourself to, they're struggling in ways you can't see. They have insecurities, failures, and fears, just like you. They've been through pain, just like you. The difference isn't their success. The difference is how you perceive it. Instead of letting it make you feel small, let it inspire you, but never define you. Stay focused. Stay grounded. Your purpose isn't found in comparison. It's found in your commitment. Stay in your lane long enough and you'll find that it leads exactly where one of the most powerful shifts you can ever make in your life is deciding to pursue your goals for you, not for validation, not for approval, not to prove someone wrong, and not to impress anyone else, just for you. Because you've realized that your dreams matter, your peace matters, your growth, your healing, your happiness, they all matter. And most importantly, you matter. Too many people build their lives around external expectations. They chase degrees to please their parents. They start businesses to impress their peers. They go to the gym to earn attention, not wellness. But when your actions are driven by the desire to be accepted, you end up sacrificing your authenticity. You become disconnected from what actually fulfills you because you're too busy trying to meet someone else's version of success. But here's the truth. Nothing is more exhausting than living for approval. It turns your life into a performance. Every step you take becomes about who's watching, who's judging, who's cheering, who's doubting. And before long, you don't even recognize the person in the mirror because you've been so busy trying to become who others want you to be. Doing it for you means choosing yourself every day, especially when it's hard. It means respecting your boundaries, protecting your time, and honoring your energy. It means giving yourself permission to outgrow people, to take risks, to fail, to evolve, without needing anyone to understand or agree. It means saying, even if no one claps for me, even if no one gets it, I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to do the work. I'm still going to chase this dream because it belongs to me. When you make that shift, everything changes. The pressure fades and the purpose becomes clear. You no longer need revenge to fuel your ambition. You need vision. You no longer need applause to feel worthy. You build self-respect through quiet consistency. You stop hustling for a place at someone else's table and start building your own, one brick at a time. And understand this: you don't have to wait for permission to become the person you're meant to be. You don't need anyone to validate your dream before it's real. You don't need an audience to start. You just need a decision. A decision to bet on yourself, to invest in yourself, to trust that your dream isn't random. It's rooted in who you truly are. You were given the vision because you are strong enough to bring it to life. Doing it for you means standing in front of your mirror and saying, I am enough. Not because they say so, but because I know so. You stop chasing the spotlight and start chasing alignment. You stop needing to be seen and start needing to be whole. You realize that real success is not about proving anything. It's about becoming everything